Hello everybody! Today I will show you how to close e4, e5 with white color. I will show you a fresh idea in a very old opening that you can use to outsmart your opponent and get very solid position with advantage. To your better navigation, I made the time codes below the video. My name is Pavel Martinov, I welcome you to my YouTube channel, and let's start our journey through theoretical variations. So let's start e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6, and h3. It's a really fresh and modern idea. And firstly, I'm going to show you one of the main ideas of this move. So, for example, after a very logical d5, takes on d5, takes bishop b5. Right now, e5 is hanging, and we can't play bishop d6 with black because I will take the knight on d5. So it seems logical to takes on c3, takes, and play bishop d6. And basically, kind of the same position we can receive with the switch of the colors. I will show you. So, for example, on this third move, if white playing d4 Scotland, takes, knight f6, knight c3, bishop b4, takes, bishop d3, castle, castle. So the position is actually the same, but we are turning the colors and we have extra move h3. So let's go back, yes, for the hour position. After h3, d5, takes, bishop d6, castle, castle. So we have h3 move here, and black that did not have such moves. And h3 is a very good move against bishop g4 and some pin somewhere. And this position, we're going to play this with extra tempo, and it's basically really nice to play. So rook e1, rook e8, seems logical. And after this, we can push d4, takes on e8, takes on d4. And basically, I believe that this position is a bit better for white because we can use b line somehow. For instance, bishop d7, bishop f1, a typical idea to go out, to push the rook to b1, just to go away with this bishop because he's annoying the rook on b1. Rook d8, c4, we created kind of a strong center here, basically. Bishop f5, bishop b2, bishop e4, transferring the bishop to a more solid position by black. Queen b3. Basically, b7 is hanging somewhere. I can push the rook to d1 or e1. I'm protected with f3 with my queen. I have d5, c5 idea to d5 especially to unlock this bishop on b2. I believe that this position is playable for both colors, but still I see some advantage for white. Returning back, probably it's more interesting to play in this position queen f6 to protect the pawn on e5. d4, takes, h6, because black need to cover g5 square. Other way I will come with bishop g5, threatening the queen. Rook b1. So I'm going out from this diagonal with the queen. Very logical. And here black has several possibilities. For instance, like rook d8, bishop b2 with the idea of d5. And here we had the game of Alexander Shimanov, knight a7, bishop d3, knight f5, d5. So the bishops are opening. Queen g6, the only one here. And for sure, we can see that this position is very dangerous for black because I will follow rook g4 and my attack, supported by my bishops, can be really huge. So you can see the game Shimanov-Kovalov here as an example of how to play this position. After rook b1, like bishop f5 is also playable move, but I can go with bishop f1. We already know this trick, the typical one. b6, bishop d2. The position is quite calm, but still I have ideas of c4, d5, c5, something like that. So seems very, very interesting. Knight b4, d5. If like takes on c2, I can play just queen to d2, and everything is hanging for black, so it keeps dangerous. And after queen d8, for instance, I can push queen to d4, f6, here, knight c2, rook c1 here. So it's like a computer variation that I analyzed with the computer. And we have this c6 and e6 squares. I will go knight d4. So I see white's position is really powerful. And basically this knight is out of the game. So again, after queen f6, we're playing takes, h6, rook b1. And I believe that this position is quite fresh and playable, but still with the advantage for white. And I showed you basically main ideas of this variation. So let's go for the other line, not d5. The side line that I want to cover quickly is bishop c5. Looks very logical. Black wants to castle, but I can take on e5, takes d4. It's a typical combination in such type of pawn structure. We're returning back the piece. And after, for example, bishop d6, because blacks want to save the bishop, yes, to rescue him, takes, bishop d3. I have ideas of f4 somewhere. So castle, castle. and this position can be dangerous. For instance, after d6, bishop g5, I'm coming in some point with f4, and the position starts to be not that good for black. After more calm rook e8, that seems very logical because black can take on c3 somewhere and take the pawn on e4. I have an interesting move here, knight b5. And basically I covered d6 and d4 squares and I want to push f4. And it's really annoying for black. For instance, after a6, I still going with f4. Takes, bishop f4, rook e6. And the rook came too early. There's a double pawns on b line. We can go forward, e5. After knight e8, I will come with bishop f5, and the rook is hanging, and it's hard to save the rook actually. So after knight b5, I have a typical combination idea: takes, and takes on d5. And d6, because blacks need to finish the development somehow, takes, and the good prophylaxis move, king h2, to avoid queen b6 check in any occasion. And we can see that my king is under safe. Black king is not that safe actually. Basically black, they have some troubles with the pawn structure. d6, b7, b5, they're not that good basically. And of course it's a different colors of bishops, but still it's not an endgame, it's more middle game. And it will be hard to rescue this position, and black will suffer for a long while. Returning back to the 10 move, after knight b5, black can also push c6. Looks interesting. f4, bishop b8, to take on b5, like the same variation like a6, but still the pawn structure for black will be even worse. Bishop b8, and I'm just calm, returning knight c3. And those bishops, they're really passive. I have ideas f5, e5 in some cases, and I believe that position is slightly better for white, so you can use this trick. So bishop c5 is not a huge danger for us. And let's go probably for the main idea of black, bishop b4, like in the classical variation after bishop b5, yes? So the classical one is bishop b5 here, yes? So we're after h3, we are going to look for bishop b4. So after bishop b4, basically white has two opportunities. Bishop d3, the move that was played a lot by Anish Giri, and knight d5. After bishop d3, our main idea, for instance, after castle, d6, we want to play a3, and if black will take on c3, we will take with the pawn on d and open our bishop. And this position can be also playable and interesting. It's like, I will show you one example, a5, knight g6, c4. It's like we are following the game of Anish, and he won Kramnik. You can see closer this game by your own if you want, but I don't believe that this is so much dangerous for black. For instance, after a3 we can go bishop a5, and the bishop on d3 looks a bit weird. Before here, knight f4, yeah, the bishop on d3 works because he's protecting the e4 pawn, but I don't believe that the advantage of pair of bishops is so huge here because we are replacing the knight closer to f4. This bishop is a bit out of the game, and I believe that this position is very complicated without huge advantage for white, maybe a bit advantage or chances for the advantage. So bishop d3 is playable. I think it's more for a long game, yes, and let's return back. And I'm actually recommend you to try knight d5. I think it's more poison for black. For what? The best move basically is to take on d5. Takes, not to play knight d4 because this position will be dangerous. I mean, like this pawn structure is better for white than for black, yes? After e4, it's like a strong move. And this position takes. Bishop c4 is actually around equal, very around equal. For instance, here. And black needs to be careful here. For example, after bishop d6, d4, following bishop e3, c3, this position is also around equal, but a bit better for white, and it's hard to find a plan for black. And the best move is queen d7. What is the idea? I'm coming to f5 to exchange queens and to let freedom for my bishops, especially on c8. d3, queen f5, for example, takes, and we need to play this endgame. Yes, black, they have some troubles with the pawn structure, I mean double pawns, but it's not enough to win. I mean, it's around equal, but still you can try play this. Yes, it's also interesting. And basically the point of this, that after knight d5, I think that probably no one comes to with knight takes d5. This like looks a bit strange, but it really happens. So bishop c5 is like more common move according to the practice. c3. Our idea is to have d4 somewhere. we need to learn that after knight e4, d4 is kind of dangerous, because after takes, we are not taking, we are playing bishop d3. We want to castle, and we want to have an advantage in development, and this position comes really dangerous for black. For instance, I will show you some variation. Takes, takes, castle. I have ideas of bishop g5, rook e1, so it's no time to take on c3 with black. Castle, knight g5. I'm coming with the attack. h6, knight h7. And I'm actually hanging two pieces, yes? Here, takes, takes, and this position is slightly better for white. So very dangerous. After rook comes to a4, it's very dangerous. And if black will try after knight g5, actually basically tricky move, I want to use my advantage in development to attack soon as possible. If they will try to play g6, to cut this bishop, knight e4, queen e5, bishop h6. All moves I'm doing treatments. Rook e1, e8, f4, queen e7, bishop g5. And this king, poor guy, is really so weak here. Here, check. Here, queen g4. I'm not even taking on e8. I want to come to h4 and checkmate on h7. It's basically interesting. Takes, king h1. Takes, queen h4. Queen g7 to defend against the checkmate on h7. Bishop h6. And if they will take, takes, takes, takes with a check. That is the point. Here, takes, takes. And this position looks very disgusting for black. I mean, it's completely winning for white. I showed you like a variation. So we learned that 6th move, knight takes e4. After d4 takes bishop d3. It's very, very dangerous for black. So calm move here is castle. And I'm coming with d3. I want to push my bishop to g5. And yes, I was like a, we can say, cheap treatment of d4. But still, black needs to avoid poison pawn on e4. So, for example, after d6, I will play bishop g5. And this pin is very uncomfortable. I will destroy king side of black and win this game. So, h6 looks natural to cover g5 square. Yes, and no more bishop g5. b4, bishop a6, a4. And actually, this position is very like move by move. Because I actually want to conquer this bishop. I want to play a5. The best move actually is to play a6, because after a5, b5, I will take next move on b6, and this destroyed pawn structure looks weird for black. So a6 is better. Takes, takes, and blacks, they have troubles with the counterplay, but still we did not castle, and we have some troubles with the development. So black's idea is to push d5. That's why we need to make some prophylaxis, c4. And if black will take on b4, it's like hard to believe, but we all need to use computers, and computer will suggest some fresh ideas, g4. And whites are coming with a strong attack, g5, takes, takes. For example, bishop e6, rook g1, knight c6, queen d2. And those pawns are really destroyed. The extra pawn for black, we can't feel this extra pawn. We have bishop h6, queen g5 ideas of a checkmate. The position is really sharp and interesting, but according to the computer is really better for white. So after 11 c4, d6 was played once by Le Quan Liem against Alexander Shimanov. And bishop d2, a5, b5, knight b8, g4. The same idea of g5. And basically, I believe that this position is dangerous for black. Because in that case, before they had an extra pawn, for here they need to suffer for nothing, no material. So, and actually Shimanov won this game in a kind of an interesting style. Yeah, you can find this game and learn more about it. But basically, I showed you the general ideas. And let's, in the end, cover the very rare opportunity of black on the very beginning after h3, just to be sure that we know everything in this variation. The last move I wanted to speak about looks a bit weird. a6. The idea of black is just, okay, white wants to waste time for h3, we want to play a6, maybe in some kinds of semi-Italian after bishop c5, we will cover our bishop on a7, so it looks like we are doing a good move, a good waiting move for a good waiting move of white. But here after d4, we are transposing a bit to this variation, but still I believe h3 is way more useful than a6. So, and this position is very, very good for white. It's a good transposing from other variation. So you can play this line. And I think that after h3, your opponent will be surprised. And actually, basically, it's solid line. You can even try it in the classical games, not only in Blitz and Rapid. So in conclusion, I'd like to say that I showed you a rare and interesting line that you can use in your own games, and you can collect points with this line. And you will avoid lots of theory like Rui Lopez, Italian with D3, Italian with C3, and so on. So it's very useful. Basically, you don't need to know so much, and you can receive a playable position in some interesting cases. I want to wish you good luck in your chess. Don't forget to subscribe for my YouTube channel, press like, and please leave a comment below this video. Did you like this video, and did I help you to build up a strong opening repertoire of you? Have a nice day.